Hello, welcome to my garden. You can see I've been fairly busy because of all this extra time with the coronavirus. And listen, first of all, I just hope that you are staying safe, and whether you or loved ones are working in emergency services, our thoughts and prayers are with you to make sure that you stay safe. This is a very difficult time. But today I want to tell you about this talk, and this talk is titled "It's All About the Small Things." So, small things. Look, a lot of people are worried now about income, and we've got to address that. Income is the most vital thing. It's lifeblood to keep our living, the roof above our head, food on the table, the bills paid, everything. And there's two things what we've got to look at. One is from the employee's point of view, and one is from the employer's point of view. There's two sides of the table, and I've been on both sides. So I'd like just to spend a little bit of time on this, but I want to start a little bit about what's been going on this week for me. One of the things, I'm using this time to good effect. So the small things that we need to be diligent on, the small things that we do. So that is about getting up at a reasonable time, getting out, having breakfast together, having a routine, putting it very, very importantly, okay? So I've used this time very much to put my paperwork and a lot of other stuff into a better order. So I've stripped everything out, I've taken it, and what I've done is I've spring cleaned it and archived loads of material and just streamlined everything so it's nice and clear for counting purposes and everything, so I understand what I'm doing. And that's very, very important. But then again, it's eating time. So we sit down and we eat, then we play together, we exercise together, whether that's go for a walk, or sometimes I go for a walk and I go for a bike ride. And something needs to be in place, but it's small things. The compound effect, one of my favourite teachings, where I probably learnt the most, by Darren Hardy, said it's the small things. Albert Einstein said that the most powerful force known to man is compound interest in the way it works. Funny enough, that's how microorganisms multiply. They through binary fission, they multiply every 10 to 20 minutes in favourable conditions. So it's that old story. Do you want £1 million now, or do you want a penny on the first day and just double the amount each day for 31 days? A lot of people say, I'll have £1 million now. It's not until about day 28 does it overtake $1 million. And then it goes again. So remember, when it becomes $1 million, it becomes 2 million, then 4 million, and then 8 million, and so on. So compounding is vital, and this time you and I need to be compounding our time and making sure that it's efficient for what we need to do. It's really, really important. Let's get back. Employees are very worried about salaries. The government, bless them, have said they're going to pick up 80%. I'm talking to a lot of people, and some people are being laid off work. Why? Because businesses can't afford to run it or to stay paying this money back out until this other money from the government kicks in. And there's always this time thing. And from an employee point of view, you've got to change. And please take a word from somebody who's been there, seen it, and done this. When in a different time, it doesn't matter that we're in this time, it's a difficult time for a business. And for an employee, the type of employer I was always going and saying, what can I do to improve the business? What can I do to create more business? What can I do? And, many people are saying you shouldn't be looking to make money in this time. I'm sorry, but we shouldn't make apologies for making money and for looking for opportunities to make money. That's not profiteering. I'm not talking about getting toilet rolls and selling them at ridiculous prices. I hate that, and it is despicable. That I have a serious problem with. But providing a service, whether it's accommodation, whether it's whatever it is, people need a place to live. The other day, my daughter wasn't well. She woke up in the middle of the night, early morning, and she had a pain in her abdomen. So I phoned 111. Doctor phoned me back within a few minutes and said, look, I'm very worried, go straight to the hospital. I went fairly fast to the hospital straight away. We got there just after 5 o'clock. Got rushed in, saw her straight away, and it did take, with blood tests and everything, took 5 hours. She was very fortunate. It wasn't appendicitis. She's got an infection where they gave her some drugs, antibiotics, and we came home 5 hours later and all good. But while there, I was talking to the nurses and the doctors, and I said, look, what is it you need right now? They said 2 things. One, they said food. Said even with that hour that they get for emergency services, it's too busy. They haven't got time to wait around. So that's something. Now, it's difficult. You can't just take food in because that virus stays on for 4 hours apparently, or even 4 days on plastic. So we have to be careful. But what can we do? I don't know. You might want to contact your local hospital and say, can I arrange to send a load of food to you direct from the supermarket? That'd be a good thing to do. The other thing is that I said to the nurses, what do you need? And many of them said, we've come from other areas. We've come from Devon, from Dorset, from the south, and we've got nowhere to stay. So the nurses' accommodation is full up. We've got nowhere to stay. So service accommodation, you should be looking, how can I provide that? Now my business partner, Leslie, she's already doing this. But what she does is she takes her shopping and she puts it in. She asks them to clean it. She gives protective clothing to her staff. And so if they're going in, they're protected. Can you see? It's not wrong to make money in this time. You're providing a service. But what's she doing? Is she doubling her prices? No. She's reducing the prices. And that is the way to do business in this time. Because remember, those people who are running their businesses and running the prices up because they have something like toilet roll or hand wash, people will remember. When things go back to normal, they will remember. I'll never go in those shops again, I promise you. And if I'm passing and I'm there, I would say, guys, don't go in there. They're not community based. Buy it cheaper down the road. I will. And so will you. I know many of you. But let's look at business now again from the point of an employer. Now, employer, actually, look, when someone makes £20,000 a year, the employer does the tax and that, the employer actually pays more tax on top of that for employing you. We have other costs which we have to take care of. There's insurances, there's all sorts of things that we have to do. And we have to think of cash as the lifeblood of any business. So if you're an employee, you need to be being someone who's positive with the right attitude in this time and saying, look, I don't want to sit at home. What can I do? Can I do research? Can I do something that we can diversify our business? So I was speaking to a friend of mine, he's a pig farmer. And I said, how's it going? He said, oh, Trevor, that price of pig has gone up all over the world. But this consortium in Europe are they've got together, about 5 of them, they've got together and they're keeping the price of pigs down here. So he's really struggling. So I said, so why don't you start to do a network online with the rest of the pig farmers and start to make a force between you? So he's thinking about it, but he says he's a bit old to do that. But come up with a solution, come up with a plan. And this is about doing smaller things. And if you went to all of your employers and you contact and said, listen, what can I do to help? That's how you get on. When I was a chef, I said, chef, can you show me how to do that? Can I do that, please, chef? Can you watch me and make sure I do it right? And I would learn, because I would ask and I would go and say, what else can I do? And through serving one another, more happens. And I've always been a great believer, if your hands are open to serve, your hands are open to receive. And I think that's a really powerful place to be. Look, Albert Einstein, he said, in every difficulty, there is opportunity. That's true. So don't think it's doom and gloom. We've got to work on our minds. We've got to. I'm going to do a live session coming up soon on Facebook. I'll advertise it. We're going to do a mindset thing and the people around us and how it affects us, whether it lifts us up or puts us down. I know it's hard to motivate. Look, I'm trying to get onto my diet and get going. It's hard. I put weight on. It's not good. I know many of you in the same barrel. If you want to join with me and we do something collectively, then send me a message. Look, be encouraged. Be encouraged at this time. Look at the good things. I know that it's strange that everything we listen to on the news, and many of us put that news on the first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Many of you are checking the app to see how many people have died here and in the world, and we are feeding ourselves negativity every single day. At the minute, I can't remember, it's about 16 people per million have died in this country. Okay, but it's a terrible situation, but we need to be people who come up with solutions, not who jump and say, woe be me, we might die. It's, hey, we're going to live, and we're going to make something for the living, and be positive. Look, I hope, if you criticize me, it's fine, criticize me, but let's be positive, because this is temporary. All things are temporary, and it will change, and we will come out of it. And the ones who prepare themselves now and work on themselves and their minds and what they're going to do in the future, the ones who are going to be successful, that can be you. I want it to be me. It's what I'm doing right now. So look, stay healthy, stay separated, stay isolated, and honor what our leaders are asking us to do to keep safe, and so we can preserve ourselves and our families. And no excuses. Don't make excuses. Look for solutions. Again, if you're really struggling, drop me a message. We'll jump on and we'll have a chat. We'll do a video call if you want. Let's have a chat. Chew the cud about life, what problems, what solutions. Listen, thank you for watching. I want to wish you all the best, and may God bless all of you and your family. Thank you. Bye-bye. So with buy, refurbish, finance, it's really critical that you know what you're doing before you jump into something head first and make massive mistakes.